Okay, I would like to welcome everybody to, and thank you for being here, to the Body Harmony International Guild Communications, and we are delighted that you're here. Today we get to speak with Body Harmony teacher Aita Pats, and she's going to share with us her favorite, or actually do a demonstration about her favorite Body Harmony move, technique, as well as share with us her journey about her journey to Body Harmony that I can't wait to hear, because I hear it's quite fascinating. So Aita, please join in and tell us your journey and about you.
Hello, everybody. I'm really delighted that you are here with us tonight with the Body Harmony group. Yeah, my journey to Body Harmony was quite special, as many things in my life has been very special. It was about an inner search, an inner and outer search. And it started 20 years ago when my body and soul and my whole being just crashed. As in many modern lives, when we work too hard, do too much, I was separating from my children's husband, and I was running a company and a shop, and I had a house and garden and 2 teenagers at home. And then one day my body didn't obey me anymore, because I had been quite hard to my body and just, you know, pushing, and I can do it. And this typical strong woman who can cope with everything. So I was laying there for 3 weeks, and I had a feeling that my body and soul was not one anymore, that my body didn't obey what my mind and soul wanted. And that was a very, very strange feeling. So I started to search for some methods to get back into the body so I could go on with my life. And I found Qigong and Tai Chi, meditation, and I went for very tough meet yourself courses in Sweden. And I did all of them at once, typical me. And then I felt like all my illusions, they just fell. Like everything that I thought was important in life. And so it felt like all these illusions, they were just falling down in a heap on the floor. And who was I left standing there? So I had to go on searching for the truth. So I went to Denmark and I did a 2 years therapist training. And that training was very much connected to the body. So it was a lot of body work and to understand the body and the memories in the body and so on. And then I did an essence training with also this very deep consciousness, with a deep presence in the body. And I traveled to India and I searched in my subconscious mind. I did hypnotherapy courses and learned about the subconscious, how that was interacting and how the memories were stored in the body. But still I felt there was a missing link somewhere. And I kept searching more when I had done all these courses, and I felt there is something more missing, and I need to know that. So I went to a guy in Gothenburg, Hasse Nyander. He is a medium, he's a well-known medium, to ask if the spirit world and my ancestors could give me a clue how I could go on. And very soon when I was in this session, then my dead father's soul came through. And I know it was him because he gave me the signs of playing piano, and even the smoke that I could feel the smell from the smoke because he was smoking. And the medium also said it was my father, but I could really sense that this was my father. And then the medium says that I hear your father saying something, body, harmony. I can hear it. It's like body harmony. And he said that I don't know what that body harmony is. I have no idea. But you better go home and search on Google and see what that is, because that is what your father is saying. So I was very happy to get these words and maybe a new opening. And I just felt that there was something. So I hurried up home and of course went into the computer and the internet and pushed the button for body harmony, and up comes Don McFarland and the upcoming course in Australia, the 1-month training to become a body harmony practitioner. Of course, I just immediately registered for that 1-month training, and off I went to the other end of the world and stayed there in a small tent in Jinnah and Duncan's garden with all the kangaroos, spiders and snakes, and had a tremendous month there. And I met Linda for the first time, and it was very, very special. And you can just imagine to do body harmony, to practice every day, 6 days a week, from 9 to 5 every day. We were only off on Sundays. So it was a really, really deep journey into myself and others. And I started somehow to understand how everything was connected, how the tissues were carrying the information, how the flow in the tissues was very important to reach, how the flow in the tissues were to be listened to, the blockages, and to create new possibilities out from that, what the client wanted. So it was really amazing. So that was my way into body harmony. And after that, Linda and Don came to my former place, Ekorden, and had a course there. And now last summer, we had a big body harmony international conference at my new place here in Sweden. So I think the connection now is really growing, and it almost feels like new seeds have been put into the soil and more possibilities are just coming with it.
So just growth, nothing but growth, and just bloom.
Blossoming.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So tell us about this technique that you are going to share with us today.
Yes, there are some reasons why I use this technique. And one is that I feel how also body harmony is very connected to other work that I do, like Qigong, for instance, which I have practiced for 20 years. And it's about flow, and it's about relaxation, and it's about presence, and presence in the body. So I'm going to show one of my favorite techniques, and I also have a client here tonight, who has been here for having this session twice with this technique. And you who are out there and listening, and you can do it also with your presence in your body. And it's a good exercise because it strengthens the lungs And when it strengthens the lungs, it will also strengthen our immune system, which we'll need now. We need strong lungs and strong immune system in this corona time, and of course, always. It's also going back to the kidney area, and kidneys and lungs, they are like a pair in the immune system to have a strong immune system. So I will show you first on myself, and then you can do this on yourself. And then my client will pop up here behind my chair on the bench, and then I will show how it's possible to do this technique with hands-on. But you can do it with hands-on on yourself also. So we'll just put this camera a little bit further back here so you can see more of me. So first of all, the relaxation is very important. So when you are now sitting, you sit with a straight back, with a straight spine, and just take some deep breaths into your body. Where you fill your stomach and your lungs with air, new fresh air. Feeling totally present in your body. And then gently, you can put one hand on your right shoulder and just let it like become relaxed there, because if you keep it straight, it would probably not be relaxed. But if you just keep it as relaxed as you can, so you just like touch your shoulder there. And then with the next breath, you feel that you breathe into your shoulder. That your breath is reaching all the way up to your shoulder. And why I put the right hand on the right shoulder is not to cross. So I see, Linda, that you cross here, and it's not to cross. So that's why, but it's not maybe totally relaxed, but when you lay down, it is more relaxing. And then the other hand, you put down on your hip, on your left hip. And then you start breathing into the hip. And when you breathe, then you start making a connection between the hip and the shoulder. So you can feel like an energy line between the hip and the shoulder area. And just feeling the connection and the expansion, that this will expand your breathing and expand your awareness. And when I'm working on a body, then it's easier to relax my hands as well. And then I can also breathe together with the client. And I can also put a little pressure depending on how I feel her body or his body, the client's body. And also I can start feeling into the tissues and tuning in and like getting in with my awareness and my presence deeper and deeper into the tissues and keeping expanding and expanding with the breath, breathing together. And then after a while, I am changing. So I go to the other side of the client. Now, you can do that just on yourself also, but be very gentle with when you put your hands on yourself also, that you do it very slowly, slowly and gently. And it's good to start with the shoulder first and then just take a few breaths to breathe in. And then add the hip area and feel the expansion and the connection between the two hands. You can also do it in bed while you are laying in bed. And you can also do it with just your awareness when you have done it for a couple of times, because your body will remember. And you can then just create this expansion of your lungs and going all the way. So now I will let my client up on the bench, and you can do it on yourself and breathe with us, because then you are with us in the session. So I will move this chair. So hi Benedicta.
Hello, welcome.
And as you see here, then she is now laying with her feet outside the bench here. This is how we lay down in body harmony. That creates more flow.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we have a quick question from Barbara. She's asking, why do we not cross the body?
Because when you put your arm across the body like this, it is like you're stopping the flow. If you do like this, you see, then it is not as easy, because this opens up, but this closes. You cannot really expand when you hold like this. Do you feel the difference?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I will move the camera a little bit closer here to this part of Benedicta here. Yes. And since we have this Corona time, then I am also I'm wearing some protection clothes, my white coat, and also a mask, because I'm quite close to her, just to be on the safe side here.
Smart.
And this is also how I'm working when some clients dare to come here, even if it's Corona time, then it's possible to work like this also. So since I know her from before, and I have seen her walking, because in Body Harmony, we often let the client walk before a session to see how the energy moves. And I also know that she has had a severe problem in her left shoulder. Then I would not start working on the left shoulder. I would address the energy flow first from the right shoulder. And that's because then it's much, I don't address the sore shoulder directly, because I can reach it more gently from the right side first before I start working on the sore shoulder, because then it opens up some trust, some safe feeling. And now I'm then so what I see here is also her body, how she's laying. And I can see that when she lays down automatically a little twisted. So what I want to do first, before I put the hands on, that I gently adjust the body posture a bit. So I go down to the feet here and I straighten the body up. So how does that feel? Very nice. So Benny just said that it felt lighter in her body when I straightened it. Because if we have a holding, it can help with the rest of the flow to straighten up first. So very, very gently, I put my hand on her right shoulder. And I'm not going very fast, I'm doing it very gently. So her body can get used to my energy first before I'm touching her totally. So now I am there with my hand. And I just let the hand rest there to just feel her body, and so she can feel my presence there. So there is a very, very light pressure first, where we just tune into each other and breathe together. And then, as gently as before, I put the right hand on her left hip. also coming on very, very, very gently with a relaxed arm. And it's very important that my body is also relaxed when I do it. And now I'm on her body here on the hip also. And you see here where I have avoided the cross. Because if I would have been putting my hands in the opposite way, then I would create a cross, and that would not be so beneficial for the energy flow, because this is an openness. And now I start to feel, because we have done this before, and she knows already how this connection is. So I can already feel that her body responds to me, to my hands, and that there already is a connection between her hip and her shoulder area. And what I do is that I let my body move with her breath and her flow. So I'm not standing totally still, I'm leaning and pulling back together with her movement. And I'm going to ask Benedicta to breathe more into her hip, because I feel that the hip here, it can respond even more. And when she concentrates on the hip, then the energy, life energy, will flow where the concentration is, because this is how energy works. And this is also why it's important how we keep the hands on the client and how we are aware and how the client is aware of this place where the hands are connected with the body. Because then the energy flows there, and the tissues and even the bones and everything will respond. Yeah, there it came. Ooh, now I can feel it in all my body too, that there was a big opening coming just by being more aware there. Then wow, then the response just comes, which is a fantastic feeling for both of us. We'll ask Benny later, but for me anyway, it was a fantastic feeling when this openness just happened. So I would do this session longer if I was working in a full session, but now this is a demonstration. So I now also very gently withdraw my hands. So I already start, even if my hands are still there, and I start to withdraw my energy first. And the bodies get more separate, and then I lift the hands gently, and I also remove them very, very slowly. because her body is, of course, not only the physical body, it's also the energy body here. So it's important to remove the hands slowly. So all her being, all her energy being can feel very safe with what I'm doing. And then I will very quietly and will move without bumping into the bench. We'll move to the other side. And now, see how it looks in the camera here. Because now I, with the back against you here. So now I will address her sore shoulder. And then I'm not starting with the shoulder this time. I start with the hip. And again, coming on the hip very, very gently, slowly. So she can feel that I'm there. Let's see now how this works out here with the camera. And then it is this sore shoulders time.
Ida, Linda is asking, can you, she wants to know about the tissues and what it felt like when it started to open up.
Sorry, can you ask the question once more?
Sure. Linda is asking what the tissues felt like when it started to open.
What it felt like?
Yes. Yes.
It's like a flow, like it's starting to flow, like it's almost like liquid is getting through. So it feels like an opening and more space and yeah, a movement inside.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you see here now when I put my hand here?
Yes.
And since we did this on the other side, then this side is responding quicker. So I'm getting like one with her energy and the movement in her body. So we are breathing like one organism. And as you see, I'm working with my body weight. It's not that I'm pushing the tissues. I'm actually working with my body weight to let it happen. So then it just happens by itself. Yeah, really nice work, nice flow created. So very gently, I will now lift my hands and separate my body from her body, and gently coming off her energy body. Usually I would end doing something more, like I would, here I am. Yeah, I would do some extra energy work on her legs, probably to help the energy down through her legs. So there is also a great balancing opportunity through the legs to feel the energy flow all the way from the top of her body down through her legs to get like a final balance. But like I said, this is a demonstration, so it's much shorter. A session usually takes more than an hour, and even an hour and a half. Usually, yeah. So now I will ask her to get up and she can share with you how it felt. So I will take off the coat and change the camera. Jag ser inte. Jag ska se här. Sätta tillbaka stolen. See here. We can come back here.
It looked like the work was, even though it was a short amount of time, it looks like it was very deep work that was taking place.
Yes, we can listen with Benny here, what she says. Maybe Benny, you come and sit here, so then you will be seen more here. Yes. So you have to ask me. Or maybe you ask her, and I will go and switch on the lights.
Benny, I think probably the first question, tell us your experience of what it felt like and if you felt anything in your body.
It's rather special. It feels like very friendly waves. A very calm and nice feeling, really, that moves into my body.
Right.
And of course, I feel like I'm a bit feel a distance. Hur tycker man alltså? I'm far away somewhere. I don't know, in a very nice place. Really, I don't. I didn't really want to wake up. I wanted to stay there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, last session you said that you felt like you were like a baby taken care of, like just pampered and.
That was my first session. I felt just like a little baby, yes. And I had something very big and friendly atmosphere around me. And I was totally utlämnad, totally vad heter det? Disposed for the world or something.
Great, beautiful. And how does your shoulder feel afterwards?
It, it disappears.
Yeah, the pain disappears.
Yes, the pain disappeared, and I did it this time too. But the second session we had, the pain got back during the session, but disappeared afterwards.
Yeah. And that's also one reaction that we can have when the energy flow opens up, that for a short time it can be more painful actually. But that is because there are so much new possibilities for the flow to open up. It's almost like a wound that needs healing. Then also the pus needs to get out first, and the healing can be a little painful. But as also Benny said, that after just a short while, then when the pain is gone, then the shoulder got much better. And how is your shoulder now? Is it still painful, or did it disappear after 2 sessions? The pain.
I can feel it sometimes, but it's not pain anymore. It's more like a little motstånd, a little resistance in it or something.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Aita, we have, we're about 12 minutes out from the top of the hour.
Yes.
Yes. I just wanted to keep you posted with the time. That was beautiful work. Very, very beautiful. An excellent demonstration that you did. Is there anything else you care to share? You want to tell us that it's beneficial, that that you have found most beneficial for yourself, for you, that you use for healing yourself? Or we can open it up for questions, anything you like.
Yeah, as I said before, what is very important for me is to understand how everything belongs together. And I think that all these different kind of work that I do, they are all connected. And body harmony has deepened my senses, opened up my senses more to myself and to my surroundings. And what I experienced today is the contact with nature that I find very touching. How I communicate with the trees and with the flowers and with the animals, and how they come very close to me. The trees very often respond to me. Once I was even inside a trunk. It felt like that the trunk was embracing me. And very often when I look at the branches and the leaves, and they start, swaying and talking, and I feel that, okay, they can sense me, that I'm here, and I feel like I'm one with them, and very much also with the mountains. That's why I love going to Lapland and the mountains, and I have been visiting mountains in Peru and Bolivia, because I feel that the mountains have a spirit, and that spirit is really also very much communicating with me.
Yes.
So I think body harmony is a good reason, is the benefit that I've had for deepening my senses.
Yes, I can relate to that, because I feel like it has very much helped me connect, not with just myself, but with everything, and including my animals around me, squirrels, everything. So would you mind if we open it up for questions? I know that we have quite a few people who would like to ask them things or say something.
Yes, please do so.
I'm going to unmute everybody, so please, yeah, everybody's unmuted now, so ask any questions. Barbara had made a comment that saying that even through the computer, that you still feel the energy that was taking place with the work that you were doing. You still, which is true. I felt it as well. You could feel the energy going.
Great. I see that many people have their microphones unmuted. So if if you want to ask something and you want to be heard, then you go to the left corner on the computer, and then you see a microphone there, and you push that button, then it will unmute the microphone.
I think everybody's already unmuted.
No, maybe you unmuted them, but they still are muted on my screen.
Oh.
I had to actually unmute myself too.
Well, if they did it themselves, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, so
You can
everybody.
do it either way though, right? Do it yourself or Rockie does it.
I think you need to do it yourself as well, as Barbara says.
Oh, I didn't.
I did. I
Hear
had
the
to unmute myself.
helicopters mute me again because they're out there.
That's okay. Just ask if anybody has any questions, please, or comments, or what they enjoyed.
Mhm. Yeah. I just want to say thank you, Aita. That was really lovely. And it was nice for me to experience that again, since not having a body harmony session done for me for quite some time now, especially with COVID. So just doing that little exercise, it took me back to the experience of being a client again. So thank you. It was really sweet.
Great.
And I gotta say, I like the difference with working on like the right shoulder with the right hand compared to crossing the right hand over to the left shoulder, and to really be able to feel the difference that really does feel contracted when you cross it over. And I had never really taken the time to look at the difference with that before.
My experience, this was so much easier, crossing the right hand over the left shoulder. When I did this, I really had to put my elbow all the way up because I'm really short in here some way. I couldn't put, well, I still can't get my hand there without, but when I did it on this side, it was so much easier. So just to know the difference between my right and left side was pretty amazing. So I found out something new about myself, just being able to do that. So on the computer too much, I think. So that was interesting. I'll work on this on my right wrist and arm a lot more. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we don't have any other questions or comments from anybody?
I did. That's one of my favorite exercises to finish up a session, actually. But to do it on myself and to bring in I was always thinking like of stretching, but now there's another dimension. It's like the connection between the kidneys and the lungs, you know. So it's very, very nice. Yeah, thank you for that, for bringing in another dimension in one way or the other with the focus of, yeah, very nice. And that I can do it on myself, it's wonderful.
Yeah, we can do much more on ourselves than we even imagine.
Yes.
That is, I think, the most valuable thing than when we have the tools to be present in our bodies, because then we get a lot of self-healing, because when we are present, then that is when the life force, the healing life force is moving and is healing us.
Yes, and the thought, like the focus and the intention, it's amazing. when we are present in ourselves and for others, actually, when we work on.
Exactly.
Thank you, Aita.
Thank you, Sabine.
Okay, anybody else?
Karen is saying something.
But she's muted.
Yes.
There she
Oh, there she is.
Okay, Karen, you're on.
still can't hear her.
No.
You can also write in the chat box if you cannot get the microphone to work. There is something in the chat box now, I see. Let's see.
I want to say, yay, that Teresa has made it.
Yes, welcome.
Hi, Teresa. It's so nice to see you.
I'll tell you what, while Karen is fixing her mic, I just want to say that next week we will be interviewing Barbara. Sabine will be interviewing Barbara, which is very exciting. And Barbara, do you want to tell us real quick what you're going to talk about?
Sure. I'm going to invite you to do an exploration of energy and the energy factor in our healing touch. So we will be exploring again the touch in kind of in a little different way from what Ida did, but it all kind of goes together. So again, it's going to be energy and the healing and therapeutic touch.
Perfect, perfect. And for those of you who don't know, the link to come on for next week is the same exact link that you used today.
Okay. And Rockie, will you be sending a video? I know you're recording this. Do you send that to us in an email, or will you send it to an email?
I will send it to an email and also post it on Facebook.
Okay, thank you.
Or actually, I should say, I'll put it up on YouTube, and then it'll be put on the Facebook.
Okay, well,
I see now that there is a question more that Barbara has written. The question is that why did you start with the hip on the second side?
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to answer that question.
Okay.
Great.
Yes, good notice. That was because I wanted to touch the sore shoulder at last, the very last, because to get in there as smooth and gentle as possible. Because when you have tissues that are tense and where the flow is blocked, then also it is very important to be very, very sensitive and very gentle, to come on very, very gently. So it's like almost like if there is a trauma, because all the feelings and traumas that has happened in your lives, and sometimes also past lives, they're like stored in the tissues. And when you come on too fast, then you can have a reaction of resistance and not letting in. So that was why I went that way, to do that very last, because then the body could support, the rest of the body could support this place that had the blockages. So then it would feel more safe to open up.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a very good explanation.
And
I just want to welcome Colette and let her introduce herself to us. She's from France. Can you hear me? Colette, do you want to say something?
For me, this session was very nice because I feel the focus gently touch Okay. And permettre. For me, it's a good return with body harmony. And
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I have my business card to as on the screen. If Rocky, you can share that we can get a shared screen.
I don't know that you sent it to me.
Oh no, you can push a button there with shared screen.
Okay.
Because
Karen,
then-
did your mic working? No?
no, I
Okay. Share screen. I think it's sharing mine. How do I share yours?
okay, I have it on my screen now. So there is a button with shared screen that I can show from my computer.
I think that you have to share, you have to click the share.
Mm,
For me to click the share, it's sharing my screen, and we don't want to see my screen.
no. Oh, share screen. Okay.
In the meantime, does anybody else have anything?
No, you must open up that because host disabled participant screen sharing, it says here. So you as a host need to
Allow her.
allow the screen sharing.
Yes.
How do you allow it?
If you look at the bottom of the screen, there should be a button where you allow it. Can you find it, Rocky?
Who can start sharing when someone else is?
Otherwise, I will.
Okay, try it one more time. I'm not seeing it really, but I think I just opened it up to where other people can share.
Did you?
Well, if she can just give us the information and we can write it down.
Or hold the card up to in front of the screen.
Backwards, probably.
That would work.
Yeah. I just want to say, Colette, I just placed you. I know I'm saying I know this face, and I remember you from Crete, I believe. You had really long hair, kind of a reddish brown, no?
Mhm.
Didn't you have long hair? Were you in Crete with us for Body Harmony?
Long hair. Oui.
Long hair, yes, yes.
It's not working this way because it's.
Oh, I can see it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a lovely card with the tree.
Yeah.
Can you see the website there?
Yes, it's all there. Good.
We'll all stop talking though, then it'll stay up there longer.
So you can write it down. The two websites.
And you can also go to your Facebook page and get that information.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So-
you. That was good.
This has been absolutely lovely and wonderful and very, very enlightening, I would have to say, particularly that, and my hip needed this. So I want to thank everybody for being here and for sharing in this conversation with Aita, our Body Harmony teacher in Sweden. So, thank you, Aita, and thank you, everyone.
And thank you everybody for attending the Zoom meeting tonight, and welcome for a body harmony session to all of the teachers, not only me, but we have other practitioners and teachers here from all over the world. So welcome to book a session.